Hi, this is Isabelle Litzler, Pleiade HC, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So today's video is about how to choose a good career path for Switzerland. There's many things that you can choose as a job, especially if you're younger and you're watching this video and you think, okay, what should I do? What should I study? It's important to inform yourself, to anticipate. And it's hard. I mean, if you're 18 or 19 and you watch this video and you're still learning about yourself, you're still learning about what's out there, it's hard to make those decisions when you're young. And I was there. You know, I was the young student trying to find, you know, what type of studies I wanted to do. You don't necessarily have the right people around you to give you the right advice because they don't necessarily know. So it is difficult. But what I find as a general trend, because I'm in the field of career development, is that a profession around the STEM function, so STEM stands for science, tech, engineering, and math. Those are the, I would say, leaders in terms of functions where you will have jobs in the next 10, 20 years. Again, no one knows exactly what's going to be there in 10, 20 years. Artificial intelligence is growing fast, but we can anticipate to some extent. We already know that we're going to have more automation. So any job that's just support roles, I call that. So whether it's marketing support, HR support, finance support, you can forget it because those jobs will be replaced probably by artificial intelligence. So my advice would be to go into something that's quite technical, hard to copy, where you're producing something new rather than to be a support person. So STEM basically leads you to careers in the engineering sector, science. You know, you will be the ones probably producing the next iPhones or the next Samsung or what have you. Maybe you're going to develop the next artificial intelligence. So there will be some growth there because people will invest in research and technology. So you can be sure that you will find something. So that's the jobs, in my view, those are the roles of the future, including in Switzerland. So if I look at broadly, you want to have this international career, you especially want to come to Switzerland. If you have a tech background, if you're involved in developing tools and products and so forth, software engineer, etc., you will have more chances to be hired to get a job. So again, focus on the jobs of the future. There's a lot of articles on the topic, artificial intelligence, digital jobs, and forget anything that's repetitive and that's going to be eliminated probably in the future. So feel free to watch my video, also the live Facebook I've done on portable careers. I will link below so that you can check and see, you know, what are some of the jobs that you can export easily and jobs that are not going to be there probably or not exportable. Number 2 is learn languages. If you target Switzerland with only one language, you're going to be, it's going to be difficult for you because you have a lot of multilingual people. I would say in general, people speak 3 languages, French, English, and German, or French, Italian, and German. So if you come only with English, for example, it's going to be extremely hard to be competitive with all these people that speak so many languages. This is what I find with Americans, for example, or UK citizens. They usually come with one language and they were perfectly fine because in the US or the UK, you can be a superstar with just English. But in Switzerland, unfortunately, it's not the case. For senior roles or management roles, they want people who speak at least French or German, Swiss German, or English and Swiss German. Anyway, you have to have at least 2. So focus on learning those languages if you want to come in the next months or years or what have you. And number 3, visit the country. I said this in my previous video. If you want to come to Switzerland, I would strongly advise to come here for a visit, even for holidays. If you think about following somebody, for example, and the project is to come to Switzerland, it's good to see if it's a good place for both people because my experience with the partner that's following the other person is that they will have a hard time positioning themselves. Again, Switzerland is very particular. You need to speak many languages. You need to be extremely well positioned in your field or in your specialty. Otherwise, generalists tend to do less good in the Swiss market. They're not as marketable. So it's going to take a huge leap for you to come and work in Switzerland. Most people don't expect that because they think, well, it's part of Europe to some extent. So if they were successful in France or Germany or UK, they think, well, just come to Switzerland. But it's a different country entirely. It's not part of the EU. Each canton, you know, each basically agglomeration is very different. So they have their own set of rules, their own set of policies. Each time you change from maybe Zurich to Geneva, you have to redo all your admin and your registration. So it's like small countries within one country. It's very complex. For someone who doesn't know the culture, it's very difficult to navigate easily. So that's why I suggest to come here for a visit, check it out, talk to people, get feedback. Also in my career pack, I have a couple of videos where I help also with integration, understanding the culture, and how to get used to the Swiss ways and so forth. Because I think this is a huge part of your success if you're going to work in a country. I mean, you can't possibly find a job and be successful in a country where you don't understand the basics of how people think, you know, how it works in a company, etc. So really visit. I post some job boards also below, like Jobs and JobUp and Indeed, because I want you to see the market, see if you have a way of maybe training yourself for the jobs that are the most in demand. And also, of course, you can train outside of Switzerland. It's always better also to come to Switzerland for your training. This way you can also integrate easy, but it takes also some resources. So just check it out. Check the links below so that you can see what are the positions that are most in demand. I can already tell you it's going to be digital jobs, engineering, technical jobs, basically. Mostly. I mean, there's still some admin jobs and so forth, but those are usually for the locals. And there's enough resources locally that they can find people. So if you have questions, feel free to post below. I'll talk to you soon.